Hello everyone and welcome to this video on relational or comparison operators in Python. Have you ever wondered how Python makes decisions? Relational operators are the backbone of decision making and programming. In this video, we'll explore how these operators allow you to compare values and control the flow of your programs with logic. From understanding basic comparisons like AND to using advanced features like chaining comparisons, we'll cover it all step by step. By the end, you'll have a solid grasp of how to use relational operators effectively in your Python projects. So let's dive in and start exploring. Introduction. Relational or comparison operators in Python are used to compare two values and determine the relationship between them. They evaluate the comparison and return a Boolean result which is either true or false. These operators are commonly used in conditional statements where decisions are made based on the outcome of comparisons. For instance, you might want to check if one number is greater than another if two strings are equal, or if a value lies within a certain range. Comparison operators make these tasks straightforward by providing an easy way to perform such checks. Python offers several relational operators, including for equality, for inequality, and for less than and less than or equal to, and for greater than and greater than or equal to. Each operator performs a specific comparison, and the result can be directly used in conditional logic like if statements or loops. Understanding and using relational operators is fundamental for controlling the flow of a program and implementing logic. They allow you to write code that dynamically responds to different conditions, making your programs more flexible and intelligent. List of comparison operators. 1. Equal to. The equal to operator in Python is used to check whether two values are equal. It compares the values on either side of the operator and evaluates to true if they are the same or false if they are different. This operator is commonly used in conditional statements where actions depend on whether two values match. For example, the expression 5 checks if the value 5 is equal to 5. Since the two values are the same, the result is true. On the other hand, the expression 5 3 compares 5 with 3. Because the two values are not equal, the result is false. These comparisons allow programs to evaluate conditions dynamically and make decisions based on the results. The operator works with all data types, including numbers, strings, and even complex structures like lists or dictionaries. For instance, Python evaluates to true, while Python evaluates to false due to case sensitivity. Understanding the operator is essential for implementing logic in Python programs as it enables accurate comparisons and forms the basis for writing effective conditional statements. 2. Not equal to. Operator in Python is used to check whether two values are different. It compares the values on either side of the operator and returns true if the values are not equal or false if they are the same. This operator is commonly used in situations where you need to verify that two items do not match, making it a key tool for decision making in Python. For example, the expression 3 checks whether 5 and 3 are different. Since the two values are indeed not equal, the result is true. Conversely, if you compare 5, the result will be false because both values are the same. This operator ensures that programs can handle conditions where non-equality is a critical factor. The operator works across various data types such as numbers, strings, and more complex structures. For instance, Python evaluates to true because Python is case sensitive and considers uppercase and lowercase letters as distinct. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4 returns true because the lists are not identical. Mastering the operator is essential for writing flexible and accurate conditional statements. It allows you to implement logic that reacts to mismatches, making your programs more robust and adaptable. 3 greater than. The greater than operator in Python is used to compare two values and check if the value on the left hand side is greater than the value on the right hand side. If the left operand is indeed greater, the operator evaluates to true, otherwise, it evaluates to false. This operator is commonly used in conditional statements and loops where decisions depend on one value being larger than another. For example, the expression 7 5 checks if 7 is greater than 5. Since this condition is true, the result of the comparison is true. However, if you compare 3 5, the result will be false because 3 is not greater than 5. The operator evaluates these comparisons quickly and reliably, making it useful for a variety of programming scenarios. The operator works with numeric types like integers and floats. For instance, 10.57.8 returns true, as 10.5 is indeed greater than 7.8. It can also be used with other comparable data types, such as strings, where the comparison is based on lexicographical alphabetical order. For example, banana apple evaluates to true because banana comes after apple alphabetically. The greater than operator is essential for implementing logic that requires comparisons involving thresholds, limits, or rankings. It helps create dynamic and responsive programs by allowing decisions based on whether one value surpasses another. Less than. The less than operator in Python is used to compare two values and determine if the value on the left hand side is smaller than the value on the right hand side. If the left operand is indeed less, the operator evaluates to true, otherwise, it evaluates to false. This operator is a fundamental tool for making comparisons in Python and is often used in conditional statements and loops to control the flow of a program. For example, the expression 3 5 checks whether 3 is less than 5. Since this condition is true, the result of the comparison is true. Conversely, if you compare 7 5, the result will be false because 7 is not less than 5. The operator allows Python to handle comparisons efficiently and intuitively. The operator works with various data types such as integers, floating point numbers, and even strings. For instance, comparing 2.5 3.1 returns true because 2.5 is smaller than 3.1. When used with strings, the comparison is based on lexicographical order, alphabetical order. For example, apple banana evaluates to true as apple comes before banana alphabetically. The less than operator is indispensable for implementing logic where relationships, thresholds, or lower limits are involved. It allows programs to react dynamically to conditions where one value is smaller than another, making it an essential part of Python programming for tasks such as sorting, filtering, or making logical decisions. 5 greater than or equal to. The greater than or equal to operator in Python is used to check if the value on the left hand side is either greater than or equal to the value on the right hand side. If this condition is satisfied, the operator evaluates to true, otherwise, it evaluates to false. This operator is commonly used in scenarios where you need to include equality as part of the comparison. For example, the expression 5 5 checks whether 5 is either greater than or equal to 5. Since the two values are equal, the result is true. Similarly, 7 5 evaluates to true because 7 is greater than 5. However, 3 5 will return false because 3 is neither greater than nor equal to 5. The operator can be applied to various data types such as integers, floats, and strings. For instance, 10.5 10.0 evaluates to true because 10.5 is greater than 10.0. When comparing strings, the operator follows lexicographical alphabetical order. For example, Python Java returns true because Python comes after Java alphabetically. This operator is particularly useful in conditional statements and loops where boundaries or limits need to be inclusive. For example, in a program that checks eligibility, you might use if A is 80 to allow individuals who are either 18 or older to proceed. Understanding the operator enables you to handle inclusive comparisons effectively, making it a versatile tool for implementing logical conditions in your Python programs. 6 less than or equal to. The less than or equal to operator in Python is used to check if the value on the left hand side is either less than or equal to the value on the right hand side. If this condition is met, the operator evaluates to true, otherwise, it evaluates to false. This operator is particularly useful in scenarios where you want to include equality as part of the comparison. For example, the expression 5, 8 checks whether 5 is less than or equal to 8. Since 5 is indeed less than 8, the result is true. Similarly, 5, 5 also evaluates to true because the two values are equal. However, if you compare 9, 5, the result will be false because 9 is neither less than nor equal to 5. The operator works with various data types, including integers, floating point numbers, and strings. For instance, 3.54.0 evaluates to true because 3.5 is less than 4.0. When used with strings, the operator compares lexicographical alphabetical order. For example, apple banana evaluates to true as apple comes before banana alphabetically. This operator is often used in loops and conditional statements where upper boundaries or limits need to be inclusive. For example, in a range check, you might use if score 100 to ensure that values up to and including 100 are considered valid. Understanding the operator helps you implement inclusive comparisons in your programs, making it an essential tool for handling logical conditions in Python. It ensures flexibility and precision when working with ranges, limits, or thresholds. Practice examples. Comparison operators are fundamental for implementing logic in Python programs, and practice is key to mastering their use. Here are two examples to demonstrate their application. In example 1, we use a comparison operator in a conditional statement. The program compares the values of two variables x and y, where x10 and y20. The condition if xy checks whether x is less than y. Since this condition is true, the program executes the first block of code printing x is less than y. If the condition had been false, the else block would have executed instead printing x is not less than y. This example highlights how comparison operators work with conditional statements to control program flow. In example 2, we explore the concept of chained comparisons. Python allows comparisons to be chained in a single expression for readability and efficiency. Here, the variable f5 is used in two chained comparisons. The first expression 1 at 10 checks if a is greater than 1 and less than 10 simultaneously. Since both conditions are true, the result is true. In the second expression 10 at 20, the program checks if a lies between 10 and 20. This condition is false because a is 5, which is not greater than 10, so the result is false. These examples illustrate the versatility of comparison operators in decision making and logical evaluations. Practicing with different scenarios helps in understanding their behavior and applying them effectively in real world programming challenges. Key takeaways. Relational operators play a crucial role in decision making processes within Python programs. They allow you to compare values and evaluate conditions, returning true or false based on the relationship between the operands. By using relational operators effectively, you can implement logical flows and control the behavior of your code dynamically. These operators are commonly used in conjunction with conditional statements like if, elif, and else. They enable you to write logic that responds to various conditions such as checking thresholds, validating inputs, or determining the flow of loops. For example, operators like and allow your program to make decisions based on comparisons, ensuring your code reacts appropriately to different scenarios. A particularly powerful feature of Python is chain comparisons, which allow you to combine multiple relational checks into a single concise expression. For instance, instead of writing separate conditions, you can use a compact format like 1x10, making your code cleaner and easier to understand. Understanding and mastering relational operators not only improves your programming skills but also enhances your ability to create logical and efficient solutions. Practice using them in different contexts, explore chaining for more readable expressions, and integrate them seamlessly into your conditional logic to write robust Python programs. And that wraps up our exploration of relational or comparison operators in Python. We've covered how these operators work, their importance in decision making, and how to use them in real world scenarios. Whether it's simple conditions or complex chain comparisons, relational operators are your go to tools for implementing logic in Python. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more Python tutorials. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep practicing and happy coding.